Episode 4 of the Sideline Views podcast is presented by GuyBostonSports. For day-to-day coverage on the Bruins, Pats, Sox, and Celtics, visit GuyBostonSports.com. Alright, as usual, joined by my guy Keem. Keem, what up?
Hey, how we doing, fellas?
Pretty good. Kawhi Leonard. Alright, that saga is over. He is now a Toronto Raptor.
Crazy.
It was announced, official trade. Spurs get DeMar DeRozan, Jacob Poeltl, 2019 first-round pick protected, and the Raptors get Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green.
Yeah,
What are your thoughts?
I'm surprised that OG wasn't involved in the trade at all, and I'm sad to see DeMar go. He was one of the best Toronto Raptors of all time, and he will go down in the annals of history as one of the best Toronto Raptors of all time, maybe even better than Vince Carter, some might say. And it's sad because he was told, according to reports, that he would not be traded, and he was traded. So, it's like he got backstabbed. Where's his loyalty in the NBA? We saw the same thing with IT, except for he wasn't really told he wouldn't be traded, but he didn't expect to be traded because of all he gave to the Celtics. But DeMar DeRozan was explicitly told that he would not be traded, and that's the problem.
Yeah, I think at least with the IT situation, there was at least a chance that, because he had the comments about backing up the Brink trucks. And
Exactly.
There was a whole controversy whether or not Danny would be willing to give him the money.
Exactly.
I mean, I think everyone knew there was a chance that he could get traded.
Mm-hmm.
The DeMar thing is that's shocking.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
I mean, we heard reports about Toronto getting in the mix on the Kawhi.
Mm-hmm.
Whole, sweepstakes, whatever you want to call it. So we knew DeMar would have to be involved in a trade.
Yep, exactly.
But yeah, that whole thing about telling your player, we're committed to you.
Mm-hmm.
And DeMar is pretty much as Toronto as it gets.
Exactly.
So that's just,
He's not he's not willing to be traded. He didn't want to play, for a super team. He wanted to stay in Toronto. He's a star in Toronto. The fans in Toronto love him. Everyone loves him. But you have Toronto making a boneheaded decision in trading him, which makes absolutely no sense. They already traded the coach of the year, and now they're trading DeMar DeRozan. And, the perfect 1-2 punch was DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry. Now you have Kyle Lowry and Kawhi Leonard, and we already saw the chemistry between Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. They were like brothers. We're not going to see that same chemistry between him and Kawhi Leonard. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, the thing about Toronto is you can say, well, that team wasn't going to win. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
But, DeMar was committed to you, and perhaps you could have put something together. The class of free agency that's coming next year is going to be unbelievable. You could have looked at guys like Clay, you could have looked at Boogie, you could have explored multiple options to put around DeMar DeRozan.
Exactly.
Kawhi Leonard is a rental. He's not going to stay there.
Yeah. You saw Wojnarowski, there's reports saying that Kawhi is warming up to the idea of staying in Toronto. I just don't believe. Yeah, I don't believe it.
Absolutely
doesn't make much sense.
I think that's just a counter report because as soon as the trade got announced, people were already saying that Kawhi has no intentions of staying there.
Exactly.
So that was probably just a counter report to clear those things up for Toronto fans. Toronto fans need to relax. This isn't. You're getting a 1-year rental. Let's be real here. You're getting a 1-year rental, and we don't even know. Kawhi doesn't even need to try.
Nope.
He could easily just half-ass this year.
He could whip the whole year.
Yeah, and he's coming off a pretty big injury, so you don't know what you're getting out of him.
Exactly. It's like the Big E situation. You don't know.
Philly's still better. Philly is still a better team.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And the chemistry is there. There's no trust in the Toronto Raptors system right now. None at all.
You could argue that Milwaukee might creep up on them.
Exactly. And you know how they look.
Milwaukee, Washington. There's multiple teams that I'm putting that can creep up to the current Toronto Raptors before I put Toronto up there in the Boston-Philly conversation. They're not up there. Boston's still the best team in the East. Philly's right there at number 2.
Mm-hmm. It's tough.
Yeah, I didn't expect that at all.
It wasn't sensible. I woke up to that. I was upset. DeMar DeRozan's depressed. He's one of the first players.
That's another thing people are forgetting. Yeah. He had the whole depression issue toward it was like toward the end of last season, right?
Yep, exactly. He was one of the first players to come out. He supported Kevin Love when he came out, and If you watch all of the post-game interviews with DeMar DeRozan, he very rarely smiles. Even when Kyle Lowry and him are joking around, he very rarely smiles. So, you can tell he's not as happy as other players. So I wonder how this affects him, especially since he's depressed.
Yeah, he had a tough childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Compton, California.
Yep, grew up in the rough.
Whole gang buzz that goes on around there.
Exactly. You already hear how hard it is to get out of there. You make it, but for him, money's obviously not everything, because if it was, he definitely wouldn't be depressed.
Mm-hmm. An interesting thing about this whole trade is there's still a possibility that if it doesn't work out, Toronto could move him at the deadline. They could move Kawhi.
Oh, really?
So I think it's a possibility that, things aren't working out.
Mm-hmm.
Boston and Philly are dominating the East.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're Toronto, Bron, gets on the phone, makes a few calls, there's still a chance that LA could land Kawhi for next season.
They definitely...
First half doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It never has the regular season ever mattered in LeBron's career.
Yeah, but you've seen the report that LA is looking to make a free agency move. So do you think they would be interested in making a move, earlier than necessary?
I think so. I think Kawhi is practically committed.
Mm-hmm.
The difference with OKC and that whole Paul George situation.
Mm-hmm.
OKC's got a pretty solid team around Paul George.
Yeah,
there was a reason to stay there.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me the Russell Westbrook of Toronto right now.
I don't know.
Toronto has a solid big man and they have a solid two guard.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
So I was like, I couldn't bring up anything else in comparison to that.
The big enticing thing that would get you to Toronto, he's gone. Dwayne Casey's out of there.
Oh, you think Dwayne Casey was a problem?
No. I mean, like, things, positive things to look from Toronto.
Oh, okay.
Like, what would keep you to stay there?
Oh, I don't know.
There's nothing.
Definitely not Valanciunas.
I know you look at the East and you go, well, if we can screech by a few teams,
Mm-hmm.
we can make a finals run, but Toronto's not near there.
No.
They're not getting to the finals.
No, they're not going to get to the finals. I mean, don't get me wrong. There'll be a playoff team. We know how weak the East is. They'll make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, I wouldn't rule out the possibility of when's the trade deadline, like February?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't rule out the possibility of Kawhi finishing the year over there in LA.
I mean, it would be good. I mean, because San Antonio had to move. They had to move him. Because if they didn't move him now, they'd get nothing for him later, and it's just bye-bye Kawhi Leonard. But now they have DeMar DeRozan. And DeMar DeRozan, he's loyal.
Yeah, Pop won this deal by far.
Mm-hmm.
He got himself a solid player in DeMar, someone you can go, run your offense around.
Someone you can trust.
And he's got a protected 2019 first-round pick.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You got a pretty solid player, and you know how Pop does in the draft.
Yes, we do. Always does relatively
So he wins.
well.
Not only that, you get to send Kawhi out to nowhere near. He's out the country.
Yep.
How better is that?
You got to send him
in the East.
Yeah, you don't have to
Freezing
play
cold.
him.
That's not La La Land weather. I heard during the All-Star game, you probably heard this already.
Mm-hmm.
During the All-Star game in Toronto a few years back, Kawhi refused to leave his hotel room because it was so cold. He refused to leave his hotel room because it was freezing cold in Toronto.
It's that diva treatment that he has going on.
Oh yeah, he's gonna buy a house in LA. He's just gonna fly to games.
Mm-hmm.
After the game, he's gonna fly back to his LA home.
I mean, maybe we missed the signs with Kawhi Leonard. I always thought he was a humble guy, down to earth, and he's still one of my favorite players. Don't get me wrong, Kawhi, you're still one of my favorite players. But I don't know how everything could have went so wrong so quickly.
That's what kills me. The Spurs are the classiest organization in all of basketball. They do things the right way.
Yeah, I always thought he was a classy guy because of the Spurs. I'm like, he plays for the Spurs. He plays for Pop. Pop doesn't take nonsense. So that means Kawhi is about his business. He's here to play basketball.
I get it. There's a lot, in the NBA especially, there's a lot of whole locker room drama, this and that, whatever you want to call it. But you never hear anything about Pop. Never.
Mm-mm.
Pop has coached some of the greats of all time. He established that dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
He's respected by greats like LeBron James.
Yeah.
So why? What's the problem?
Maybe it really was just Kawhi Leonard's, uncle, whoever it was, speaking in his ear for him. And if that's it, he has to man up. You can't let your relatives speak for you. It's your life. It's your money. You have to make decisions.
I don't get it. But I'm optimistic for the future in San Antonio.
Yeah, not for Toronto, though.
Yeah, no, not at all. More optimistic for San Antonio than whatever Kawhi's got in store for him in the future.
Yeah.
I don't know what he wants to do in LA.
I don't know either.
It's the whole weather thing that attracts you. I don't know. I just hate where the NBA is going right now.
I don't even know if it's the lifestyle because he's a quiet guy, so I can't understand if he wants to party because he's married and he has a kid. So I really don't understand. Is it the lifestyle that attracts him? Quiet Kawhi Leonard?
I think he's, sort of like the Gordon Hayward type, where, Miami doesn't attract me because of the lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Gordon Hayward, Gordon Hayward didn't want to be in Utah, but it wasn't because of him. His wife didn't like it, so he moved.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I don't really understand. I never understood what his wife wanted out of Utah. I mean, you had 2 kids, you're living comfortably in Utah. You're in
apparently
South.
she was big on Miami. That's what scared me about.
Oh my God!
How much
Salt Lake wasn't good enough.
Buy into that.
What did she want to do out in Miami? You have a husband. You have 2 kids. Now you have 3 kids. What's so good about Miami?
Speaking of which, wow, $3 for Hayward.
Yeah,
did you see the video?
Yeah, he was not.
His reaction?
He was not happy.
He was not having it.
She was like, "Oh, are you happy, Dad?" He's like, yeah."
He saw the pink balloons and he was like, "Cut off the camera."
he was angry. He's a little angry there.
Oh my gosh.
Little angry
You
there.
think he's gonna try again?
Oh, he has to. Three girls? Are you kidding me? Nothing against girls, but 3 of them. Oh, you have to have as a.
Yeah, I mean, I feel as a pro athlete,
you want a son.
You kind of want to pass it down.
Exactly.
You want a son that you could sort of pass.
He's 6'8".
Pass down.
He's 6'8". Oh my God, he has to pass on his legacy.
Yeah, those genetics are a blessing. Those need to be used.
Exactly. 3 girls. He must think there's something wrong with him now.
Oh man. But yeah, back to this Kawhi, Toronto, San Antonio situation. It just tears me to see what's in store for the future of the NBA. Like, are we gonna get to the point where
people are moving for locations?
Upcoming draft picks are just gonna duck the draft and try to sign in free agency somehow.
Oh my God, that'd be awful. Like, hey, yeah, I'm good, but don't draft me. I'll get signed in free agency.
Like, what is going on here?
I don't know. It's kind of like what Lonzo Ball did. To a certain extent. Like, okay, how LeVar was like, oh yeah, he's not that good. He's not that good. Take me second.
I think the thing with Lonzo though is I think he was willing to play anywhere.
Yeah,
like I get the whole thing. Well, he didn't go to the workouts. He refused to come work out for the Celtics. But I think that was all that was all his dad.
Yeah, I think so too. That's why I had to change it to LeVar.
If his dad didn't open his mouth, Lonzo would be willing to play for anybody.
Yeah, that's LeVar. He is something else. He hurt Jello too. That's the worst part. He hurt Jello. He hurt his own son's chances of making the NBA because he couldn't stop talking.
Lithuania.
Yeah. The kid didn't even finish high school.
He's gonna hurt the little one, LaMelo.
Yeah, he didn't finish high school.
Jeez, man.
He didn't finish high school. Doesn't even have his. I don't even know if he's gonna get his diploma. And he made him go to Lithuania.
People forget that. Yeah, the thing that people tend to forget is LeVar didn't get these kids' attention. Those kids had attention. Those kids gave LeVar.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
They gave him attention.
Yep. It was Lonzo's handles.
A platform for him.
Exactly. Lonzo put on a show down in Chino Hills, and when you realized you had the Ball brothers all playing together, you had LaMelo playing as a 9th grader playing varsity basketball. It drew attention. It was the Ball brothers show, and it was huge. That's what brought attention to LeVar.
How's that middle one got to be feeling?
Oh, he's the odd man out. When you talk about people, you don't talk about Jello.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Just take your suspension and just play next year. Like you don't need a rush going to the NBA.
Yeah, if he went to college, he would have been able to play in the NBA. I think he thinks he's Lonzo, but he's not Lonzo. You're 6'6", but you can't move like Lonzo. I mean,
no.
All of them are like 6'6", 6'7", but He's the only one that can't move like the
Shows
rest.
exactly what his body shows. He's too stiff.
Yep, exactly. You saw how
He doesn't have the ball handling.
No, definitely not. You saw how timid he
shot like
was.
crap in the workouts.
Oh
That's
my
what
god,
surprised the heck
it was
out
a
of me.
terrible workout.
Your strong suit
It's shooting.
You know, where you get your primary source of offense from. Yeah, it's shooting. And you shot like crap.
Oh, it was awful. I felt bad for
How
him.
did he hit the side of the backboard?
He looked timid. I mean, even before the workout, he was, he was clowning around, showing off a little, and he looked comfortable.
Yeah, but you feel that these kids have like played like you seen those Chino Hill games? How those things are packed.
Yeah, you think pressure is nothing to him.
You think nothing exactly. You think nothing could get to them.
Yeah.
So what would a gym that's got like 50 people in it at most? What would that mean?
I think it was all the power that was, concentrated in that room. It scared him. He's like, these people can make my future or break it.
You think it was the whole thing like, people aren't buying into me this much, so this workout might be my last chance?
Yeah, because, he was the most bullied one when it came to, the YouTube videos. He did read the YouTube comments on the Chino Hills, Ballers Life stuff. And that is what
people were like, he's the fat one.
He's the fat
that kid
one.
Was never fat.
Exactly, the least skilled one.
He was never fat.
Yeah, and he was always skilled. People act like he doesn't deserve to play at a D1 level. The guy is skilled.
When people say you got a football player's body, that doesn't mean you're fat.
Yeah, it means, you're a big guy. You're a stocky guy. You're built like LeVar. You're not skinny. I mean, LeBron isn't skinny either. The guy's a monster. Dwight Howard isn't skinny. He's a monster. You saw Al Jefferson. That's a whole different story.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, it should be interesting. I don't know. They got LaMelo. Go back to college. Or go to college.
Yeah, go to high school first. Get your diploma. It means something.
I think he got like the equivalent.
Oh, the GD? Hopefully he did.
Yeah, I think so. Go back to UCLA. Can I get that scholarship back?
Yeah, go back to UCLA. Maybe, I don't know, do something. They're going to sell your jersey. They're going to make some money off of you.
Ball. He needs college ball.
Oh, yeah.
That JBA, nobody cares. Nobody's going to that.
How do you feel about college athletes? You think they should be paid? For their merchandise, at least.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. I did a whole thing back at school.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot the statistics. I should have brought them with me. But if you look at like the percentage-wise in the four major sports, I believe in total it was under 5% for each sport that Division I college athletes in those respective sports make it to the professional level.
Mm-hmm.
I think basketball is like 2.3%.
Yeah, I know basketball should be at least percentile.
It's pretty damn low. And then you look at, I also looked into schools like Alabama, where the amount of money that they have,
yeah, it's unreal,
is unreal, to the point where they have more money than some professional hockey teams.
Yeah.
The majority of professional hockey teams.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. What's with the NCAA? And not only do they not pay you, they keep you from making money.
Exactly.
Remember that University of, I think it was South Florida or Central, the University of Central Florida, their kicker, I forgot his name.
Mm-hmm.
He started like a YouTube channel about like his college.
Oh,
life,
yep, I know what you're talking about. They made him choose.
Yeah, exactly. And then they made him like, all right, you can either keep the YouTube channel or we're gonna have to kick you off the team. He got suspended.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't want you to make any money.
YouTube videos?
Yeah, it's his life. He worked hard to get there. Let him make money.
Oh my gosh, they're like, you're profiting from us.
No. It's the other way around.
He's profiting from him.
Yeah, come on. It's just disgusting.
It's ridiculous. They definitely should be paying D1 athletes something.
Oh, yeah.
The thing that people don't get, you are not guaranteed. You're not guaranteed to go professional.
And you're putting your time in. They don't understand how much time it takes to be a D1 athlete and then to also focus on the books. Now, I know people will say, oh, hey, these guys, they're not that smart, so they're not hitting the books that hard. Well, you just don't know that. You don't know how many of these guys actually want to do something after their sport, because not all of them will make it. So some of them do try to get their degree.
Yeah, Grayson Allen spent 4 years at Duke.
Exactly. He might have been
4 years. There's only so many gen eds and BS classes you can fill your schedule up with in 4 years.
Exactly. You actually have to do something at that point. People might not believe it.
You'd have to think a bunch of them know going into it. Like, I'm probably not going to make it.
Oh,
I'm just here for the education.
Yep, exactly. But
like, your chances, like, it's damn near impossible for you to make it with the chances.
Mm-hmm.
Like, statistically, your back's against the wall.
Yep, unless you have an X factor, or like, hey, I'm good enough to do this, then you're probably going in there, you're taking a shot in the dark. and you're probably putting basketball at the forefront of things, not school, but basketball or whatever sport you're doing. So now you have to do all of that, and now you have to expect, hey, am I going to make it? Am I not going to make it? But I'm still going to try and make it. But what am I going to do with school? I don't know. Mm-hmm. It's a toss up. You can't, and you're not making money. You're not getting anything out of it. But people are selling your jersey. You see people.
No, yeah, but they're making
tons of money off of you.
Contract that the NCAA recently signed.
It's
ridiculous how much money it is.
And you know what the worst part is? They get away. The players allow them to get away with it to some extent because they get offered, these free shoes or these free sweats, and these players think it adds up. Yeah, they think it adds up. I forgot. I think it was Kentucky or something. They get they have like 20-something sweatsuits and however many pairs of shoes they want, and I'm just like, wow, that might give back to them, a certain extent, but how much is that really compared to what you're making off of them? Like it's nothing. It's nothing. You put your body on the line. You put your mental health on the line in whatever sport you play, especially football, and you're not even guaranteed to make it. It's crazy. Give the guys some money. Have a heart.
Didn't LeBron have a thing out of high school when they were like giving him free shoes and all this stuff?
Yeah, he took out a loan for his car. I remember that he took out a loan for his car, and they tried to get on him for that. Even for the shoes and stuff, they tried to take away. They tried to make him leave. You saw it in the documentary in his
Yeah, they were trying to give him free shoes, and he literally like couldn't accept anything from anybody.
Yup. Mm-hmm.
Didn't someone offer him like a Hummer or something?
Yeah.
Like someone gave him a Hummer.
Yup. And they tried to come after him for that too, but they couldn't. And
all right, I got it right here. Generated revenue.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The NCAA March Madness tournament earns $900 million in revenue.
That's unreal. And that's just March Madness.
So let's do the math real quick. 347 D1 teams, right?
Mm-hmm. And let's say there's 50, maybe a little more players.
Roughly like 4,500 players.
Mm-hmm.
You divide that money up, you can pay, not saying you should give them each this money, but you have enough to give them each $200,000.
Unreal.
And you can't give them anything?
It's a problem. It's a problem. They don't want players to make money off of it. They say it's a privilege. It's a privilege, right?
2011. Hold on, let me tell you something. 2011, they signed a 14-year broadcast deal, CBS and Turner Sports. You know how much that deal's worth?
Billions, has to be.
$10.8 billion.
Yep. Went over this in my coaching class before. A lot of older guys do not believe that they should be paid money.
Yeah, and people do you understand that the amount of work that they put in?
It takes a lot.
It's pretty much like a job. It's pretty much a job.
Oh, easily.
It's insane.
Oh, some guys they only work 4 hours a day, and those guys they work out 4 hours a day and can only be like G2 players. So those D1 players, they're working out like 6 hours. And they've been doing this since they were young.
It's insane. They practically are putting in the American work hours, and they get nothing out of it.
And the worst part is, you have people that say, "Hey, I don't want to say a doctor, doesn't do their job or something, but we have doctors here saying, oh, why is LeBron James make the money he makes? He's not saving people's lives." Why does Shaq make the money he make? It's like stuff like that, and it kills me. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, it's like to them. Oh, when I was young, I didn't know that professional athletes could make that money.
Exactly.
Like going into life when you're like 10 years old watching ESPN, how much money these guys make. Mm-hmm. So just put in the work.
Exactly. If it's so easy, do it.
Exactly.
But everyone...
Not to discredit what they do, but we understand how valuable professional athletes are to society. Mm-hmm. They provide entertainment.
Yes. We don't...
It's more valuable than anything else.
We don't watch doctors perform surgery. God bless all the doctors.
Watch a teacher in class teach their students.
Mm-hmm. God bless doctors. God bless teachers. You guys do your job. You make society functionable. But, really, I don't understand you're a doctor. That's what you do.
There's some cases where these guys are putting their life on the line.
Yeah.
They don't get to see their families. Mm-hmm. They're out, half the year practically. Baseball players are out 162 games.
Yep.
Like, come on.
All I'm saying is not everyone can be a LeBron James. Not everyone can be a Kristaps Porzingis. Not everybody can be, Paul George, Russell Westbrook. It's not possible. It's just not possible.
The percentage stats of your chances to go to the professional level from a D1 school. This is according to Business Insider. The MLB, D1 athletes have an 11.6% chance. That's the highest of the 4 major sports. The NFL, 1.7% chance.
Wow.
The NHL, 1.3% chance. And the NBA, 1.2% chance.
That's just awful.
Oh, yeah, you're guaranteed. Your career is set.
That's just awful. I mean, you can go to school. If you study hard enough, you can... If you study hard enough, you have the aptitude for it, and you really, you put your nose to the grindstone, you can accomplish a lot of your dreams. But some things in life you just can't do no matter how hard you work for it. Not saying you don't have the skill for it. Not saying you don't have the mentality to do it. But sometimes, like size isn't in your favor. Like how many Isaiah Thomases do you see? We have small guys who work harder than some of the bigger guys in the NBA. We have bigger guys that are less skilled than some of the smaller guys in the NBA. But there's a reason those bigger guys still have a job and those smaller guys don't. Because, height can't be taught.
The player I was looking for, his name is Donald Delahaye. Let me read you the rule that he violated. A rule that I feel should practically be abolished. It's the NCAA Rule 12.4.4. It states, any NCAA athlete may establish his or her own business, provided the student-athlete's name, photograph, appearance, or athletics reputation are not used to promote the business. What? He can't use his name?
Yep.
His photograph or appearance? Like, what does he have to work with? He has to wear a mask?
That's just awful. So I'm guessing Juju Smith...
what kind of crap is that?
He would not be able to do his business right now. He has a YouTube channel. Yeah, he's lucky. He finished college. He would not be able to stay.
What kind of hot garbage is that?
Oh my God, capitalism. These guys, they want to make as much money as possible. They don't want to share anything.
The University of Alabama alone generates $143 million in athletic revenue. 143. More than 25 of 30 NHL teams. More than 30 professional teams. Oh my gosh. That's more than the vast majority of NBA teams. 143 million. And these kids don't see a lick of that money.
It's ridiculous.
I don't get it. I've been saying for years, yes, these kids should be paid. You know how many people tune in to watch that March Madness? You know how much money flows in? Every year, isn't someone offered like $1 billion if you get a perfect bracket? It's like the NCAA is just dangling money in these kids' faces. Like, look how much money you're making us, but you don't get any of it.
It's just awful. There's nothing you can do.
It's ridiculous is what it is. I don't get how you can be so one-sided and not see how much money is going around here. I'm not saying these kids should be paid millions of dollars, but you need to get something out of this.
You definitely have to get something out of this. If you don't, then like all the hours you put in your life, like what was it for? Like, you tell me, I don't get it. I don't get how someone can work that hard and receive nothing.
I don't know. Let's move on to a NCAA athlete who is making millions of dollars. Former Oklahoma point guard Marcus Smart has agreed to a 4-year deal worth $52 million with the Boston Celtics. So, Keem, Happy Walters pulled it off. Happy Walters pulled it off. I want him to be my agent. Jeez.
Great name. He had a...
Oh, yeah. How do you not love that name, Happy Walters?
Oh, I love it. Love it. You can't go wrong with that.
All right. So, about this deal. I don't think it's a bad deal. Honest, I'll be honest. I think it's kind of weird that Boston sort of had the upper hand here when you think about it. Because I don't think any of those other teams were genuinely interested in giving Smart that kind of money. I think that was all just bullcrap. I think it was all bullshit. So, yeah. So, to see him get 52... Like I said, I'm glad he's here. He's someone that the Celtics need going into the future, making finals runs. But I feel you could have got him for less.
He is someone that the Celtics need. The deal was actually in Ainge's favor. He got him for dirt poor.
Yeah, when you think about it, the way I see it a lot like the Avery Bradley deal a few years back. When Avery Bradley extended with the Boston Celtics, it was a 4-year deal worth $32 million. And I thought that was bizarre. Avery Bradley making that kind of money was... I remember when the deal happened, I was still in high school. I didn't even know how to react. So it's... And then I look at it in the future, and you look at it, and that's a steal for an Avery Bradley type of player.
Oh, yeah.
It's like penny change in the NBA now. And apparently, it's reported that the NBA salary cap is supposed to rise up to like 8 to 9 mil coming soon.
Yep.
So I think we're gonna look at this signing in the same situation with this extension. We're gonna look at it and go, well, at the time it may seem like a lot of money, but in the future it's gonna work out.
It's definitely not. It's definitely not a lot of money, and you lock him down for 4 years. I don't know if he received a player option. I don't even think it will matter.
No, there's no player option, no team option.
Wow. So really, he's locked down. I don't think there's any reason to even have an option. He wants to stay here. So, he's getting his best wish. And,
Yeah, Marcus Smart's an interesting, when I heard the whole Sacramento, the Brooklyn Nets, Memphis Grizzlies, I'm thinking, why? Why would those teams be in on him? You guys aren't contending.
Nope, they definitely aren't. I don't know why they want that. I mean, he's an energizer bunny, and he would bring defense. So I can understand why you'd want him, but... He's not going to be like, wow, this guy immediately helps our team. No. He's not going to change how many wins you have. He will change the quality of content you provide, though.
Teams like Philly, Houston, the Lakers, maybe even OKC are teams that should have been in on him, if anything.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see why. I think the whole Memphis sack, I think that was all bullcrap. I don't think those teams were genuinely in on him.
Oh, yeah. Nope.
And I don't think those teams were willing to give him $13 million a year.
I just think he went out there and said, hey, I'm talking to these teams to, gauge some interest from Boston. Just let them know, hey, if you don't pay me, I will move.
And Ainge had the upper hand. That's the whole thing that's weird about this.
Definitely did.
I don't know.
I mean, Marcus Smart never had the upper hand. He's a kid that came from, that controversy he had during college. I forgot where he went. But you remember...
He went to Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the whole thing with the fan.
Yeah, the fan. And I watched that when it happened live, too. It was really interesting. I thought he just pushed the fan. I didn't know, until they replayed it, that the fan clearly said something to him.
Yeah.
And that's when I
don't know what he said, but...
Yeah.
Those couldn't be kind words knowing Marcus Smart.
That's when I had my first taste of Marcus Smart's intensity.
Yeah. It's crazy, too. He was apparently going to be a projected lottery talent. He was projected to go number 1 if he went in the draft a year before or something like that. So it's kind of weird. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. It's like a Grayson Allen type thing.
Yeah, Grayson Allen, funny situation.
Yeah, destroyed his draft stock.
Declared for the draft post-sophomore year.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just to trip some more players down in Duke.
Yeah, he wasn't... The dirty work wasn't done.
Yep. He's an intense player. I don't get him. Trips players, but then he cries when he's angry. I just don't get him.
I can't get a read on Grayson Allen.
Nope, never will.
All I know is I like Utah. I don't know. Yeah. I said at the beginning of the offseason, if the only thing Boston did was lock up Marcus Smart, I'd be fine. I still feel the same way. I'm perfectly fine.
Yeah, I mean, thank God we didn't trade for Kawhi Leonard because he would leave. He wouldn't stay. And they would ask for too much, and they would walk away, like bandits. They'd take everything, and we'd get nothing except for Kawhi.
I think the chances of keeping Kyrie... I go as far as to say I know. The chances of keeping Kyrie here are significantly higher than keeping Kawhi here.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Why would he stay? What can we offer him? What can Boston offer Kawhi Leonard?
Like
we're not LA.
Kawhi's sights are completely set on LA. I don't think this could at all.
Yeah, if he's willing to not listen to Pop, then Brad Stevens is he's nothing to him. So no point in ruining that. We have Brad Stevens here. Keep him happy.
The whole culture thing scares me about Kyrie's future here. Because the only reason he would want to go to New York, you're not winning in New York.
No, you are not.
That's not a thing. Kyrie winning in New York is just not. That's not a thing. It will never be a thing. So
what's the reason he wants to go?
What is so attractive about New York?
Why even come to Boston? Why take a pit stop at Boston?
Perfect.
Yeah, why make a pit stop at Boston if you feel you want to leave? What exactly can New York offer you other than money, which we can offer pretty much relatively the same amount? I don't get it. I don't get what New York has to offer.
It's such a tough situation here because you look at it. Terry Rozier had his most valuable year that we're probably ever going to see from him in Boston. Last playoff run? That puts his trade value extremely high. So then when you look at what he's going to do next year, his shots are going to go down. He's not going to at all have the type of year that he had in one playoff week he did last season.
No, definitely not. We know. Everyone knows that.
So if you don't have that commitment from Kyrie, you can't trade Rozier because you can't have both those two gone. Who's your point guard next year?
Gordon Hayward.
So that's the thing that sucks in this entire situation. So I don't know. I genuinely believe that he'll re-sign here. I think there's just way too much to pass up. Coaching, young upcoming talent, perhaps the best GM in basketball right now. Great sports city, the greatest sports city in America right now. I don't see why he'd leave.
I mean, I went past Kyrie Irving's old high school. Tiny place, probably the size of a typical middle school in a less fortunate society. So it's not big.
You can make as many Uncle Drew movies in Boston as you want. I don't care.
He definitely could, but if he was willing to stay at the high school he went to and the size it was, and I'm telling you the place was tiny. I drove past it. The place was tiny. It was like two or three McDonald's put together. It was real small. So if he was willing to go there, then I don't know if the place is not if it's actually if that's the problem. I don't know if that's the problem here. I think it is what it is with him. He just has a mentality that you cannot decipher because who else knows better than Kyrie Irving?
But think about the reason why he wanted to get traded to begin with. He wanted to prove a point that he could win, not being in LeBron's shadow. So imagine Boston goes in this year, make it to the finals, say they lose in like 6 to Golden State. You didn't prove your point.
He definitely didn't.
Isn't that a failed mission on Kyrie's end?
I think he understands the difficulty it will take. It will be very difficult.
It's possible. It's definitely
it's possible. It is, but LeBron now is at a very, very different stage than when he was at Cleveland. It's not.
LeBron's not going to sniff the finals again for a while.
We don't. Hey, we don't know that. We don't know that.
No, there's no way.
If he's not the first best in the West, he's the second.
I'll reword that for next year. I think there's still a possibility that Golden State breaks up. I think Klay's going to be the first one gone.
Oh, I think they're going to break up.
If they get that third straight ring, like I said before, I think Durant could be out of there. So, yeah, okay. But next year, LeBron's not going to the finals. There's just no way. I don't care if they get Kawhi. I don't care if aliens land on this planet and they sign with the Lakers.
You don't think Kawhi could change the game completely for the Lakers?
Not that much, no.
Really?
There's still way too much talent.
Wow. Okay.
The score it's a scoring driven league, and aside from LeBron and Kawhi in that situation, who else do you have?
Come on.
You don't have a big man.
LeBron can hit 6 threes in a row. LeBron can hit 6 threes in a row. Kawhi can hit 6 threes in a row.
Those two alone can combine for like 80 a night. But you still got KD, you still got Klay. Now you got Boogie in the mix. Boogie ain't no JaVale McGee.
Definitely not, but he will. We don't know when Boogie will be 100%. And honestly, Just get the guy mad and you're
Boogie
taking
at
him out of his
50%.
game.
Yeah, but the thing is, even if Boogie's 100%, he's not going to play, to his full potential like he does in Sacramento.
Oh, definitely not. But I'm just saying, all you need to do is get the guy mad, take him out of his game. There you go.
But you still have a powerhouse.
Oh, 100%. But I believe who regarding Kevin Durant, LeBron, we don't want him guarding Kevin Durant. We don't want that. But now we have Kawhi Leonard on Kevin Durant, and that is a much, much more appealing matchup.
But the thing is, anybody, any given night on that team can go off.
Yeah, but the same goes for Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is a very, very consistent scorer. He's very consistent.
So is Clay, Steph, and KD.
Clay's the shakiest on in that lineup.
Yeah, but even on his worst night, he can still give you, 15?
He takes a ton of shots.
Along with KD's 30. Steph, all he needs to do is give you 20, 25. Then you're going to get Boogie. All you need is 15 from Boogie. That's it.
Something has to give, and if it's not going to be Boogie, and it's not going to be Draymond, it's going to be one of the big three.
Oh, Magic Johnson should have gone on the phone with Boogie a whole lot earlier.
They talked. I heard they talked, and it just didn't work out. But I heard they did talk.
Clearly, you couldn't sprinkle any magic in this one.
And Boogie even reported that GSW was his last option, and then he said explicit, my haters. Drop the F-bomb, my haters. So
dude, you don't. Okay. Let me relax here. Don't make it seem like nobody was going to be in on you. He signed what? Shortly after the 4th of July? 2 days after?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that? Teams are still exploring options.
But you heard, I know you read the articles where other teams said, well, it was reported that other teams said they weren't interested in Boogie because of his attitude. They did not want him inside of their locker room.
All right, but point blank, if Boogie had not signed with Golden State today, right now, do you think he'd be signed by somebody by now?
Would he be signed by somebody? Yes, but who would that somebody be is the question.
It doesn't matter.
I don't think it would be a team you would expect it to be.
I don't think it matters. Somebody was going to pay him.
Who knows? It might have been Boston.
Boston wouldn't be able to pay him, but yeah, I think
he could have took a similar deal.
The way he's saying it is, well, I'm just sitting there. Golden State's the only one with a wide open door. I had to go there. Nobody was going to sign. It's not like you're Jonas Jerebko, who I think is also a pretty good signing for Golden State on their part. It's not like Jonas Jerebko where he's just sitting there in free agency and it's like, well, I got to take that because, nobody else would sign me. You're the best center in the league. It depends if you consider Anthony Davis a center or not.
Most definitely.
You're the best center in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you mean?
He doesn't get as much love.
I can go on a boogie rant all night. You have not done a thing in basketball. You're a loser. You haven't accomplished a single thing.
Okay, fair enough. He's a loser, but the man is the most skilled center in the league without a question. No other center can dribble like him. The only one who comes close at his size is Kristaps Porzingis, and he's a power forward.
He is, but he's still a loser. KD came there, MVP. Twice he's been to the finals. No, once he had been to the finals. No, come on. KD, I'm not trying to justify KD's decision. But if we're looking at which one is worse,
KD's 7 feet and he's 235. Boogie's 7. He's 6'11". He's like 2 something. He's well over 250. He's like 280.
How do you justify the fact that New Orleans played better without you than they did with you? And you didn't hear Anthony Davis complain once.
Oh, they had a chance. New Orleans would have had a chance to be Golden State Warriors with Boogie. They did not stand a chance without him. So, take it how you want it. They did perform well without Boogie, but they would have been able to beat tougher teams with him.
The future of the NBA scares me. It scares me dearly.
Yeah, it's becoming a superstar-driven league. You want super teams.
Oh my gosh. Years from now, I wouldn't rule out the possibility. Years from now, college prospects just, I'll skip the draft.
Yeah, you have LeBron James on the Lakers still. You have Bronny pair up with him.
That's something that I've always thought is pretty interesting. How is Bronny going to pull that one off?
Oh, he'll pull it off. He's 13 now. 13 going to 14. He'll 4 or 5 more years. LeBron just has to stay in the league for that long. Especially with the way he takes care of his body exceptionally well. He'll be fine.
Yeah, but winning, LeBron's gonna have to take some time off and go. I'll let other guys win for now.
Win now. Take a break for the.
Put in the work. LeBron can't do what he did last year for 5 more years and then still
pull a Jordan.
Play like a good 3 with his son.
Pull a Jordan.
Yeah, go play for the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah, just
win a World Series.
There you go. Take a break. Work on scoring.
Drought. Oh, the Cleveland Browns, actually. I'd pay to go see that.
Oh, he would. Did
LeBron play football back in high school?
Yes, he did, and he had to choose between 2, and he chose basketball.
Yeah, didn't he have some offers too?
Yeah, he did. He did have offers for football, but he said he believed that he would go further in basketball, and that's why he chose it.
Right, let's do that. What is Cleveland Browns season's what, like 5 days?
Oh, don't get me wrong. I believe if LeBron played football from, like that, if that was his first love and that's what he decided to stay with from college, LeBron would be a Hall of Famer in football. I don't care what anyone says. The man he's an athletic freak. He would be able to do that.
He made the right decision, though.
Oh, 100%.
Because I'm not saying, you can have the talent in football, but then again, football's that sport. It isn't like baseball or basketball.
Injuries.
Football's that sport where, all it takes is 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. All it takes is a second, actually.
Yeah, and you can go from being Adrian Peterson to being Adrian Peterson.
That's all it takes is that one hit.
Yep.
What do you think? Do you think LeBron's going to get into ownership after he's done?
100%. He will own an NBA team. I think so. No question. He might even partner up with Dwayne Wade, and they might, split a team. Who knows? But he will own an NBA team. NFL team, like his friend said, I don't know. But NBA team, yes.
Yeah, NFL team's tricky. I don't think I want to make that.
No, definitely not. You saw what the Dolphins did, huh?
What are you talking about?
The Dolphins, they had they pushed an anthem policy where so they would be able to penalize players or something of the like.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
It was.
And then one of them came out. I forgot his name. Cam something.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot his name. He came out and he said he's still going to go out on the field anyway and take a knee.
Wow. Well, he's going to look for trouble.
Kudos to you.
He's looking for trouble. That's his future.
Yeah, you don't want to. The NFL is something where, in the future, if you're a college student, if you're anything, you kind of want to stay away from the NFL.
Yeah, it's one of the worst organizations.
Go look at UFC or something. Go try to revive boxing or something.
Yeah, the NFL is a bad organization.
Don't get mixed in with the NFL right now. Mm-hmm. Don't get mixed in with it.
They're tough.
So, I think he's going to take... You think he's going to take Jordan's model, pretty much, of what he's done post-career?
Yep. Yeah,
and pretty much go, well, that's not what I'm going to do.
100%.
Because what has he done in Charlotte?
Nothing. You don't need to go to a team I don't understand why you even chose Charlotte, but I believe he will be able to make a better team than Michael Jordan did. I think Michael Jordan just has it to say, hey, I'm Michael Jordan, and that's it.
That organization stinks.
Oh, it's awful. And you would think the best player of all time would be able to do something.
Kemba Walker is a great player, but he broke every Charlotte Hornets record in 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's nothing.
Tony Parker might go in there for 1 year, just break every record, shatter it.
Yep, exactly. It's nothing.
He might hit the most three-pointers in a season by a Charlotte Hornet. Mm-hmm. And Parker didn't even shoot the three for the vast majority of his career.
I was going to ask you.
Who knows what's going to go on down there?
I was going to ask you, did you see the picture of Tom Brady shirtless?
I did.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of heat for it.
You put on a few pounds? I mean, yeah, I think he put on maybe 5 or so pounds.
Yeah.
But has he ever had a six-pack? Has he ever been ripped?
No.
Why does it matter now?
I don't know why they're getting on him. They're coming at him for his wife. They're saying, hey, you're kissing a model who's worth, $350+ million. I don't get it.
Tom Brady himself is a stallion. You see his hair post game. How do you maintain that?
And the guy has 3 kids.
That's why Gordon Hayward came here to get some Tom Brady hair tips.
Oh yeah, you see his hair now. He got
Tom
the
Brady
tips.
and Gordon Hayward. Oh my gosh, that's a beauty right there.
Power couple.
That's a beauty duo.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now.
While we're talking about
Put
stars,
those genetics together.
While we're talking about stars, you saw Jimmy Garoppolo. Well, NFL stars. You saw Jimmy Garoppolo and the porn star he took out.
I don't want to talk about that.
No.
But we'll talk about it. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what he's doing.
Jimmy, you're a great looking guy. What are you doing?
No,
there?
he did not take after Tom Brady there. Shame.
Gross. She looks gross.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what's going on there. Take the air pump, just put it down.
Yeah, also
you have to stop it sometime.
Complain about Tom Brady deflating.
Exactly.
There's some overinflation there.
Exactly. Deflategate, she needs it.
I'm going to try to keep it as censored as we possibly can. Just pull up the image if you're listening yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll see what we mean.
Oh, yeah. Jimmy Garoppolo and her, it's a bad mix. Bad mix.
Too much silicone. Way too much. I don't know what are you doing, dude?
Oh, that's awful. You could have your choice of any girl.
You're going to make plenty of headlines. You're in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm. And this is the way you choose to start it off?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It makes me go back and look at the whole. I don't know if you heard about this when it happened a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Kim K tried to go for Tim Tebow and he denied her.
Yeah. I saw that. That's amazing. You can't go for Tim Tebow. He's better than that.
Yeah, come on now. Seen that guy?
Yeah. She has to know better.
Tebow's arms?
Did she see him? Did she see when he went down on one knee during the game to pray? He's a man of God. She cannot ruin that.
That is the pure class act of sports, that man.
She cannot ruin that. She may try, but she can't.
I always hated when people would get on Tim Tebow. Like, what? So what?
I mean, that's
He's praying before the game. What's wrong with that?
Exactly. If that's his faith, let him do it. We see Muslims do it all the time. Everyone else is doing it. Just, let him do it. Don't make it a big deal. It doesn't matter. That's his faith. Let him practice his religion how he chooses.
Like, I don't get rooting against a man for that.
Yeah, you want to see him fail just because he's prays to God before he plays a game that involves people hitting you at speeds that they shouldn't be. Like, come on. Like,
he was. Do people forget how amazing he was in college?
Oh my God,
like one of the greatest college quarterbacks of all time.
People
of the generation that I got to see.
People just don't know. They didn't watch him at his best.
Unbelievable.
They only saw him in the NFL.
And then he tries the whole baseball thing, and people are just mocking him.
Yeah, like it's easy. It's easy to play 2 sports at the highest level.
Why? What is? It's like Tim Tebow can't do anything. Every time he's on TV, they're like, "Oh, Tim Tebow. Yeah, what else?"
They want to see him fail. They don't care if he puts his best foot forward. They don't care. It's ridiculous.
He doesn't do anything for.
No, he doesn't do anything bad.
Financial benefit or to get attention or anything like that. I don't.
It's not like he's a J.J. Watt who's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a regular guy. I just drive a Ferrari." It's not like that. Mm-hmm. He's a man of God. Let him live his life. He's a good guy.
I've always liked Tim Tebow. I'm gonna hop on eBay right after.
He's real, exactly. He's real modest, not fake modest. Bragging modest.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's a genuine guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't know him personally,
but you can tell.
But I put 99.9% into it that he's genuine. Yep. He's what you see on TV.
He's the real deal. Real article.
You go on his Instagram page. He's always doing something for disabled youth.
Mm-hmm.
He's holding these little parties and whatnot. I'm pretty sure he's probably done 1 million of those My Wish things.
Yeah.
So I don't get it.
And they still want to see him.
Man's damn near flawless when you look at him.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see what's wrong.
Ugh. People hate what they can't understand. It's a shame.
As they do. Anything you want to bring up before we wrap this up?
Carmelo Anthony not being paid to do anything.
Wow, we can get on top of that. We definitely I forgot about that. Yeah, the Atlanta Hawks acquired just to drop.
Yep, exactly. Made no sense. Absolutely none.
I think it's 100% that he's going to Houston right now.
I think so too. Really, he's going to go to Houston.
I think
has to be.
If he went to LA, he'd have to take a back seat and probably come up off the bench.
Houston, they don't have a small
He
forward.
doesn't want to do that.
No small forward in Houston. You go there.
Is Ryan Anderson still there?
I think he is, but he didn't even play, if I remember correctly.
They gotta find a reason. They gotta find a way to get rid of that guy.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing.
And I like Ryan Anderson.
But yeah, you can't just miss him. You can't do that.
But you can't pay. That guy's getting. I think he's getting over 70.
Yeah.
70 mil.
You can't
You can't pay 70 mil for a guy off the bench like that.
No. I don't know if he played in the Western Conference Finals, but I do not remember. I don't think he did.
No. He's a guy that you forgot he was on the roster.
Exactly. That's not acceptable. You want to miss that?
Jeez.
Yeah, you're off the team. How about that? But then again, either they have to dump his salary on someone else, or they're gonna have to pay it off, and extend the time they would have, to pay it off.
Yeah, and say what you want about Melo in this stage in his career, he's still more versatile on the offensive end than Ryan Anderson is.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. People might not respect him. There's a lot of memes going around, a lot of jokes. He's the donkey of the day in a situation. Hey, the guy's getting paid $20-some million to not play for a team. But at the end of the day, he's still one of the best players in the NBA. You might not like it. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. He can score. That's what Melo does. He scores. He proved it in New York. He proved it in Denver. He might not have exactly proved it in OKC, but at the end of the day, he can score, and he is still a threat.
Really sucks that he's playing catch up,
Yeah.
towards this.
You would never
this
expect
final.
this.
What do you think? He's got like 2-3 years left.
Yeah, he's not like LeBron. His career hasn't been as successful.
The clock is ticking. He is running out of time chasing that ring.
Yep. And I don't know if he'll get it. He might end up being a Charles Barkley.
I can't. You see, the thing about this whole Melo thing is he did it to himself. Nobody told you to stay in New York.
No, definitely not. It was the money.
Nobody told you to re-sign there.
He became money hungry.
Anybody with
Yeah, and I
blind people could have seen this coming. Blind people could have seen, what the disaster of New York coming.
Mm-hmm. Easily.
There was no future there.
Easily. It doesn't take a genius to say, hey, Joakim Noah, Defensive Player of the Year. Now this guy isn't even playing anymore.
What's the biggest thing they have accomplished in the past, I
don't know.
years,
They brought
passing Boston in 2011?
I don't know. They brought Derrick Rose over. They thought they were going to be automatic contenders.
2011, 2013, when they passed Boston, I don't remember when that was.
Yeah, and then they lose in the second round?
Yeah, exactly. Guys didn't belong there to begin with.
No, they got lucky. They caught Boston on an off day. They were lucky. An off couple of days.
I'm pretty sure that was the game Boston put a 19-0 run, too.
Mm-hmm.
They were coming back, and New York barely got that win.
Yep.
Where Avery Bradley racked up 3 steals in 2 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, I think Melo hit it.
I remember that. They were inbounding it to Raymond Felton, and then Bradley steals it twice.
Mm-hmm. Hit a couple of lucky shots. They get up.
Yeah, don't ask me how I remember that. I don't even know.
It was a sad day in Boston.
Yeah. But we've got great ones to come.
Yes, sir. You already know, G.
Just great podcasts to come.
That is true.
Thank you for tuning in to episode 4. Keem, as always, thanks for joining me.
Hey, don't worry about it. See you later, guys.
See ya. Tune in for episode 5 coming soon. We're out.